Welcome back. Let's talk specifics with the current sale. So, starting here on the website, there's a number of different things that I think are worthwhile that are included in this one. There's a lot of stuff that is really just personal preference. I'm not going to go through every single thing, just the things that really stand out as highlights to me. Number one, in game, you can get a discount on premium time. If you want to get a whole year, it's like 1995 gold, I think. So you can effectively get a year for what I think a month normally costs. So, or I guess 2 months. So that's probably your best value. As for stuff on this store page here, if you're interested in paratroopers and you don't have them, they're available. They're going to be a little bit on the pricier side, even with the discount, but they're one of the two biggest bang for your buck that you can get. The other ones are going to be your half-track squads. So the German one, the Russian one, I'm not sure about the Japanese one. I don't think that one's included in here. We'll have to look in game. Well, I won't be able to see because I have it actually. That's why we're on this page. But the half tracks are going to be your best bang for your buck. They play from BR2 up to BR5. They scale with you as you level. You can swap equipment on them as you get better equipment. They're one of the only squads in the game, like infantry squads, that will maintain their value no matter if you're a brand new player, if you've played for as long as I have, if you've played longer than me. They're one of the only squad types that are always valuable, and on sale they're only 12 and a half. So I think that's what I would look at if you were looking at picking up anything in the sale. But if you're bound to paratroopers, the paratroopers are also looking pretty good. In game, if the Russian ones are on sale, I highly, highly recommend the Russian paratroopers. They also scale to any BR, so they fall into the same category as the half tracks. These guys are good, but they're only BR5. And if you're a new player, I would stay away from them because you're going to be jumping into BR5, and BR5 can be a shit show. I also like the MG42 early squad. I made a video about them a few months back. The highlight to premium machine gun teams is that it's the only way in the game to get 5 machine gunners. And the MG42 early is marginally better than the Tech Tree MG42. So if you like MG42s a lot, they're not a bad pickup. Beyond that, I wouldn't bother with any of the assault squads on here. I wouldn't bother with the Kachi unless you want to be a meme. You can do a fun mechanized meme build with that where you take the squad and you give them all submachine guns and you treat the vehicle more like an APC. Um, I think it's like a 7-man tank crew, so you can be pretty powerful that way, but like as a tank, it's terrible. As a transport to get to the front, it's okay, but I would stay away from that. For $10, I'd rather just pay $250 more and get a half track. The Type 1 is okay. The Chiha is actually pretty good. I don't have it, but a lot of my friends do, and they like it. The Sherman Firefly is its stonks are way up right now because it got the APDS round, so it can effectively deal with German heavy tanks now where it couldn't before. So that, as far as allied vehicles go, is probably number one. The Calliope is always fun. Just know that you're more of an infantry support tank. Everything else is really just personal preference on here. In game, there's a lot that I'm just not going to be able to see because there are things that I have. For the Germans, I haven't messed around with it. I'd be curious if the Dickermax is any good. At BR3, a 105 does seem very potent, but it is open-topped. As far as assault squads go, the Suomi boys are extremely good. They're very popular, but like I said, I would stay away from them either in favor of the paratroopers or in favor of the half-tracks. Either one of those, I think, is probably going to treat you a little bit better than they will and give you more longevity. I think the Panzer 38T actually looks like it might be pretty decent. It's got really good armor for BR1, but BR1 plays up to BR2, and I think there's probably better options at BR2 just in the tech tree. I'd stay away from all of the assault squads, all of the rifle squads. The sniper squads are okay. You can get a semi-automatic BR3 sniper, and this is BR4, so this is the only way to get them at BR3. So that's a fair option. And the Focke-Wulf 190 D9, this is in the fighter slot, so it actually probably is pretty good. It's got a decent bomb loadout for flex between a fighter and a strike plane. As far as their shop goes, the Panzer 3M I hear good things about. Um, it's decent at dealing with allied armor. It's okay at dealing with infantry. I wouldn't worry about the planes, though. This one potentially seems neat, but I haven't used it, and I don't know anybody who has it, so I can't really give you a strong recommendation on it. Generally, I stay away from planes, though, unless I hear really good things about them. Looking at Japan, this is a 4-man engineer squad. I'd probably stay away from it. The Ki 61 is very good, and the Chi-He I would stay away from. The Chi-Ha-Kai, or the Chi-Ha, is generally going to serve you better, but if the Type 1 is available on sale, then I would go for this over anything else in the Japanese ground tree. But as far as air goes, I would go for the Ki 61 over the Zero. The Zero's not terrible, but the Ki 61 is better, in my opinion. It flexes between air-to-air and strike better. Moving on to America. Of everything down here at the bottom, the Chaffee stonks are going up now that it's done at BR2 with the 75, so this actually might be a pretty decent pickup. I obviously don't have it though, so I can't tell you for sure. If I do pick it up, then I'll probably make a video about it. I'm just not convinced that I'm gonna need it. The Mosquito looks pretty good. It's got two 500-pound bombs. If you're not very far into the tech tree, or I shouldn't say not very far. If you're at BR 3, 4, and 5, then it might be worthwhile if you haven't made it all the way to 5. Otherwise, I think there's things in the tech tree that are very competitive. And like I said before, the Calliope and the Firefly are both fantastic. The Calliope's more anti-infantry and a meme, so if that's the way you like it, you can't go wrong. The Firefly, however, can deal with enemy armor very well, especially with its new APDS shell. Or, yeah, APDS. Anyway, it can deal with Tiger 2H's somewhat effectively. You're going to have to get the first shot off, and you're going to have to play smart, but you can at least pen them, so it's a decent vehicle. Once again, well, actually, their half-track isn't on sale, so never mind. I would look at the Chaffee, number 1, right here, Chaffee, and number 2, I would probably look at the paratroopers and the Firefly equally. As far as their shop goes, I haven't really seen a whole lot of AEC or AC ones. It has a 40 mil 2-pounder, so I'd probably stay away from it. If it was the other version of the AC, I think it's the AC4. If that ever comes in, that I would be much more interested in. And I would stay away from the Hurricane Mark IV. I've never heard anything good about it. It looks deceptively good because of its 40 mils, but from what everybody has told me that's used it, they just underperform. So, moving on from them to Russia, if you want a unique squad, there's the female medic squad. One of my buddies, Ice, has them, and he tells me that they're fantastic. I wish that they were a 4-soldier squad. They're a 5-soldier squad. They're a 4-soldier squad. I don't really recommend medics, assaulters, or any squad smaller than 5. But as far as something novel and cool, and something like representative, they're an option. They're also not terribly expensive at $14.75, and they are, I think, BR2. Yeah, BR2. So these are probably going to be pretty good guns at BR2. at least comparable to, maybe even a little bit better than an MP40. They shoot a little bit on the slow side, but this is also looking at them unupgraded. They're probably, yeah, their recoil's better, so yeah, they're probably not bad. These guys, however, the PP Dolganovs, they just got moved down to BR3, and having 71 round drum mags at BR3 is going to be pretty nasty. I suspect that they're going to be very good, and they're a squad that originally was in Berlin, so they don't, from my experience fighting against them, they don't do horribly when they play up. It is an assault squad, though, and it is a legacy assault squad, so you're going to only have a normal engineer in there. I don't know if they're worth 2250, because if you look at the Russian tech tree has access to the SU-100 for 2500, and this thing's a monster. It doesn't have a ton of ammo, and it's a little bit vulnerable, but every time that I've seen one, it's done very well. So this would be my choice. They do have some other options, though, that are quite good. So the Soviet paratroopers, if they're on sale, this is #1, the most valuable squad in the game. If they aren't on sale, then their half-track is on sale, and their half-track is like every other half-track. It's going to be your best investment price to value. Moving on from there, this is a bit of a meme. I never see them, and I wish I saw them more, but it's like BR2 rocket artillery. The Su-76 just moved down to BR2, and having a 76 mil gun at BR2 is going to be devastating to German armor. I'm pretty sure it's going to be able to effectively kill everything at the BR. The only downside is that your armor's not really there, and you're open-topped, so you're going to be extremely vulnerable. So, keep that in mind. Other than that, I would stay away from the Fedorovs. I just don't think that they're worth it. They do have 2 engineers, which is nice. They're the counterpart to the MG42 early squad. The problem is, it's like a 5-man squad of what is effectively an assault squad, and it's already available in the tech tree without these stupid giant bipods hanging in front of you all the time. So, I don't know. It's ultimately up to you. If I was going to get a machine gun team, I'd get the belt-fed DPs. At BR5, compared, like, 1-to-1, I think that the belt-fed DP is just better, and I really enjoy using them. They fall into the same category as the MG42 early in that it's a 5-man machine gun team. It's the only way to get 5 machine guns in a team. They're actually like big belt-fed machine guns. I think they've got like 100-round belts. I have a video about them, but they're awesome. So the only other thing is the SKT-40. It's the only... No, it's actually not. I take that back. You can get the SVT-38, so they're not really special. It's not like the German one. So, my recommendations would be the paratroopers if they're on sale, the half-track, and then the belt-fed DP or the SU-100. If you want a tank, get the SU-100. If you want a low BR tank, consider looking at the SU-76. Just understand that you're going to have to play very smart, because a Molotov on your roof will kill you, and pretty much everything that looks at you can pen you with only 30 mils of armor. And if you want something really unique, look at the PPSH-2. So, as per usual, get out there, kick ass, take names, and win your games.